This here is a mountain. Now, do not be jealous of my artist skills. This has taken years to master. Now, when you look at a mountain, you're like, oh my gosh, that is so much elevation. I'm really scared. My lungs are going to fall out and I'm going to be sore forever. But while we do have to build for the climbs, the fear should really be on these long descents. This is where the hurt comes. This is where disaster strikes. This is where the quads shatter. So while we do have to build for the climbs, we have to really, really, really prepare for the descents, especially those long descents. We got to get those quads ready, and we can do it, okay? I got tips for you, and you got to stay around to the last one because it's something that no one has ever shared for you. It's going to make you mountain resilient. You're going to become a mountain monster, okay? Mountain's got nothing on you after this. Now, number one is you got to be fit. You got to do the right amount of miles. You got to be doing your tempo runs. Do not avoid the hard work going into mountain races. Do the hard work. That is going to prepare you. 90% of going into mountain races just being overall really fit, okay? Now I'll give you the 10%. So do your fit. Do your work. Do your tempo runs, the strides, the mile repeats. Do the right amount of miles. Now here's the 10% part. While I love strength training, lunges have got to become your best friend. I'm talking all sorts of lunges, right? The curtsy lunge, the plyometric lunge, the split lunge. But the number one lunge that you need to do is the high rep walking lunge. This is the secret sauce. Nothing prepares your body better for the mountains than a high rep walking lunge. And I'm talking after your run, you take a straight line, waving to your neighbors, and you're doing 100 on each leg, right? Then you walk or run a minute. Then you do 75, then you do 50, then you do 25, you do pyramid. You build up. Now, I will put a warning on this. Don't jump into right onto 100 on each leg because you'll think, there's no weights, I'm fine, Kate, come on. You won't be able to walk the next day. Walking lunges, the high rep walking lunge will kick your butt, but it will also prepare you for the mountains. Okay, my husband, he loves the wild mountain races. I'm talking the UTMB, 110 miles around Mount Blanc. Hurt 100 has as much elevation as Everest. And you know what? He's like, you got to just do lunges. You got to make them your best friend. You got to fall in love with the high rep walking lunge. There you go. Now on top of that is the treadmill incline walk. Put that treadmill at 15%. Just walk around up. And if you got a long ultra race coming, like my husband, he puts on a weighted pack or a weighted vest or just his training pack. Like for UTMB, you have to have like a pretty big size pack. He just puts it on and he walks for an hour to an hour and a half at 15%. It ain't fancy, but it hurts. I'm not a big fan of walking that long, but what I do is I'll do my workout outside. I'll come in, then I'll jump on the treadmill. I'll do 1 to 2 miles at 10 to 15% kind of walk running, and I blast through it. And this is really key. Here's another thing. Stairs. If you got stairs, do stairs, because while there's gradual climbs, a lot of these mountains will throw you 20 to 30%, and it's basically like walking upstairs. So if you got a Stairmaster at the gym, do your strength, jump on the Stairmaster like 10 minutes. You don't have to go crazy, right? If you have a set of stairs, we got them in Central Park, Riverside, I just do a few reps up and down. If the stairs are really short, I'll just blast through them like 2 at a time. But just find some stairs and start adding them in. If you've got building, if your office is up on the 9th floor, just take those stairs. Do not let yourself not take those stairs, okay? So stairs, if you got them, use them. Another trick is, I call it the inverted hill repeat. So instead of blasting up hills, you're gonna blast down hills. I know. Now, most everywhere you can find a hill, even if it's a small dinky hill, and you can use it to your advantage. You just need to start getting those quads used to pounding on the downhill. So instead of blasting up, you blast down. Now you gotta be careful, right? Blasting down hills, definitely a little bit hard on the body, but it definitely prepares for those long downhills. So a trick I do, if I don't want to just keep repeating downhills, is in Central Park, you have the West Side Hills. I will start my half mile repeats, my mile repeats on the downhill. So I am just thrashing the quads for like 5-6 minutes. Every downhill, just blast, blast, blast. And this is key. You really want to find a hill that you can start working a little bit faster on the downhill to start preparing your quads for what's to come. And maybe you just do that once a week so you can recover, you know. And if you don't have a downhill or you want to add on top, what I've done is do longer workouts or faster workouts on the treadmill at 0%. 0%. My treadmill's then like slightly downhill. That really, really hits the quads. That prepared me for the Boston Marathon, which is slightly downhill until you hit the hills. It's prepared me for the New York City marathons, and then it's allowed me to go jump into some mountain ultra marathons. The downhill, I call it the downhill treadmill workout, but it's just at 0%, and you just do a really hard workout, and that will blast your quads and get them ready. Now, you've done all this. You're doing the lunges, the 15% climbs, the stairs, the inverted downhills. Well, the next thing, the last thing, is a muscle stim machine. Yeah, it's gonna put you on the FBI most wanted, no doubt, because look at this. It's a little sketch, but I'm telling you, this is the secret, okay? So if you got everything, you're fit, you're doing the lunges, you're doing the downhill work, you're doing the climbing, 6 weeks out from a race, maybe 30 minutes, 4, 5, 6 times a week, put them on your quads. It'll just contract it. And then, and it feels like you're not doing any work, but it's exhausting. It is going to give you that last bit of resiliency on those downhills that the mountains are going to feel like nothing. Probably not. But I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's really going to make you ready. Now, I have a Compex. And this was like the best thing. It's lasted us for a long time. There's a lot of other ones. I'm not sure how they are, but this really is like, it's really great. So just add that as the, we'll call that the cherry on the top. Now, one last thing is how you race this races. Slow down on the climbs. If you prepared your quads to handle those descents, it's kind of like free speed. So save some of your energy and exertion on the climbs. When you get to the top, use that free speed and gain it back. You're going to become a mountain monster. I cannot wait to see you tackle the big boys out there after all this. So do not fear them. You got this, and go get it done.